Wow! You're screwed, bro. You better dump the clutch. You better get out of here. What? Put the graphics on tonight. Andrew Short, everybody. Andrew Short's going to be riding for PC.
There you go. Look at, they've got everything already made. Oh, what a
You're too good with your vlog game. You know all this.
I know.
I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Hand was caught in the cookie jar there. So Pro Circuit, welcome to the Weege Show, lost a ton of riders just this week alone. Cameron McAdoo and Seth Hammaker both out. I hear it might be surgery for Hammaker and more shoulder problems for McAdoo, and that's not what he needed because he's had a ton of those through the years. But there is a silver lining, which is that I heard a rumor that Ty Masterpool might get a shot with Pro Circuit. I've heard they were building a bike and he was going to ride today at Paris Raceway just to try it and see how it works out. Now I'm seeing them taking a bike with his name and his graphics on it. That seems closer to confirmation. Don't run me over, buddy. So that would be phenomenal news. I'm not saying this is official. I'm just saying I saw a bike come out of tech inspection with its name and number on it. Masterpool on a Kawasaki 250? That could really, really, really be something in motocross. As for the rest, well, not all the injury news comes with silver linings. Some of it's just injury news, and we got nothing better. I was not here for the press day yesterday. My daughter graduated 8th grade. Congrats to her. I mean, let's be honest, all you do when you graduate 8th grade is go for 4 more years of high school. But to her, it's a big deal, so I had to be there. Good job by Jason Thomas hosting the press conference. But I think we all know some of the things that went down, literally, in the press session, which is RJ Hampshire, as he said, hit a rock while riding. He's got a wrist injury, mentioned the word surgery. He's out. That is a super bummer. Oh, we got it. Straight out of the tech inspection. Straight out of tech. So Hampshire's out. That's terrible for someone who had all the momentum on his side right after a Supercross title. Now we hear that the worst situation was this pileup that you probably saw on social media, Instagram, whatever it was. There was a video of this pileup, a bunch of guys going down. As of now, I know it's cost Garrett Marchbanks. He's out, kind of re-injured that thumb that he'd hurt at Nashville. I think he had to get stitches in it. Not sure Christian Craig's status. I don't know if it's going to be good news there. McElrath was involved. I think he was okay. That's a bad deal, man. A bad deal. Those things cannot happen on press day. The Hampshire crash, remember Dylan Ferrandis had the #1 plate and hurt his thumb at this track at press day 2 years ago. Crashes do happen. Sometimes that just happens and all you can do is shrug your shoulders. But a bunch of bikes piling into each other, that can't happen. And it did. So I hope Craig's okay. Probably by the time you're watching this video, we'll know his status. RJ's out again with a separate incident. This is not the way we wanted to kick it off. With the Weege Show brought to you by the Honda CRF 450R and CRF 250R. And speaking of that, Honda did announce some news with a new bike for 2025. We kind of knew this was coming because Tim Geiser's been riding a completely different looking Honda and MXGP and leading the points. And now they've announced production bikes like that. But what's interesting is Honda's actually going to make the 450 and 250, and not just the motocross bikes, but the RX line, the off-road bikes, will all take the new chassis and changes all at once. Most of the time, Honda comes out with a new 450, and then the next year, the new 250 comes out. I'm going to try to find Lars Lindstrom and talk more about these bikes. Okay, tell us about the bike and this is real influence, right, from the race team?
100%.
Yeah.
Real influence, yeah.
And that's not always the case.
No, not always. And honestly, you don't always want that because what the general public wants is what, you know, Hunter and Jet Lawrence want.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think with them, they ride a neutral bike that most people would like. I think we proved that last summer with some of the guys testing the bike. And so that direction has really been pushed on this new motorcycle, and all those, you know, those ideas and theories of chassis rigidity and all those things have come from the 25 development and been, you know, infused into our current bike as much as we can within the rules, which has paid off. And I mean, that bike has won, you know, 3 450 championships. Is it 4? 4 450 championships.
SMX.
Yeah, depending on who you ask. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
4.
SMX. So how long did you know about this? Is this like 2 years ago, this process? You hear about it 3 years ago? How long does this journey go?
I mean, I'd like to think about 4.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not that we were involved in the very beginning, I guess, but the process starts about there. And then we actually, Hunter and Jet and Chase wrote the prototype 25 2 years ago.
In Japan?
No, Florida.
Really?
Very secret test.
Whoa!
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was 2 years ago because Chase still had another year on his deal.
Yeah.
And so it was a very early preliminary flight, but it was basically that direction that they were planning on going, and that they were trying to get feedback from our riders, which proves right there that, I mean, our race team riders were influential in the process,
And you've been around here a long time. That was not always happening. It's not every time 2 years before a new bike comes out, your factory riders are testing it in Florida. This is not always the case, right?
I can't remember a time that's ever been like that, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. They have their own test procedure and riders that they do in the U.S. Almost never that I can ever remember did we use the race team riders. And maybe that was for fear of, wrong direction or giving them something that they can't have for a while, so that then they're always searching or lose confidence or something. Yeah. But I think we've kind of changed that idea, and Lawrence's are really interested in being involved in the process, and we love to have them involved.
And last thing is the Trey Kennard influence. So he's there riding it quite a bit.
Yeah, Trey's been in Japan a lot. Trey knows more Japanese than I do now, which I'm kind of mad about. I gotta brush up. But no, he's been really, really involved. Our communication, our relationship with Japan and the production team in Kumamoto and HRC is really strong right now. And like I was explaining to you off the camera, that because of COVID, one good thing is that I think our communication with video conferencing, all these kind of things is so normal now. We can just do it anytime. We talk to them multiple times during the week. Yeah. We share more information. Communications, in my opinion, way better. So things just seem to happen, and probably are what we have for ideas, what we think would be good for a production bike, not just a race bike. That's one thing, but maybe just a good neutral production bike. Yeah. We were able to communicate that better with them and try to get something that not just the riders, magazines, all these guys that have issues with the previous motorcycles, try to address those and just make a really good all-around motorcycle. All right, that's Lars, and that's the new Hondas. That's interesting to hear. Much more race team influence over the production bikes, the 2025 Hondas. We got a whole thing on the site with all the actual info, the frame changes. I think about 70% of the frame is different, and then other aspects that affect that, the linkage, the subframe, and then fork and shock changes to match those chassis changes. Most of the work is into the handling, suspension, brakes, little engine refinements. But anyway, that'll be really interesting, and that's exactly what you need, right? The Lawrence brothers having an even better platform, and one that they help with the development in, as opposed to the current bike they're on, which predates them. So, oh no, they might get even better. And that's bad news for everybody else. I was talking about the injuries when this started. This is the bummer tent right behind me here, Monster Energy, Yamaha Star Racing. No, and no, with the double thumb injuries. You already know about the double thumb injuries, but a lot of buzz about this guy lately. Right place, right time. That podium in Supercross, the teammates being out, everyone's starting to bench race about the motocross campaign and thinking, wait a minute, Justin Cooper. Oh yeah, Justin Cooper. He's really good. Now, personally, I've been a Justin Cooper guy for a while. He's, as I like to say, always been good, like literally always been good since the day he turned pro. I don't think anytime he gets on a podium anywhere, 250, 450, Supercross, motocross, none of it should be a surprise. I guess that's gonna be the question. When he gets podiums this year, and he will anyone be surprised? Or are we finally past the point where it's a surprise to see Justin Cooper riding well, even if it's in the 450 class? The guy is legit. And maybe there's a little more focus on him. Maybe that's what he said in the press conference yesterday, since it's the only guy into the tent. And I guess that's the theme of this show here, right? With injuries, those are bummers, and we wish they didn't happen, but sometimes there come opportunities. That might be the case for Masterpool. That might be the case for Cooper to really step up. He doesn't have a deal yet for next year. I know the Yamaha guys love him, and Bobby Weege does, so maybe he just goes back there. I think he's even been rumored to be talking to some other teams. But maybe he raises his value. The 250 class, even without Hampshire, is still going to be really exciting. Super bummer for him. And super bummer for Pro Circuit to lose Hammaker and McAdoo, but it should be interesting.
who knows what's gonna happen. I think a lot of it hinges on what level of Deegan will there be. There's still so much buzz over this Washougal Deegan last year and how fast he was, and then he didn't get a chance to really show if that speed stuck because bike broke at Unadilla, got a red flag while leading big time at Budds Creek, and then he was sick at Ironman. Then he won the SMX title. Supercross, came in hurt, wasn't unbelievable, but it was good, but he wasn't dominant. But I think there's a specter of what we saw at Washougal. If you take out all these other little things and you go into year 2 knowing all these tracks and stuff, can he be at that Washougal 1-1 guy level all summer? To me, that's the biggest question. I don't think we have any questions about Tom Vial. You know he's gonna be good. And I think people are kind of putting this in there was a big 4 just based on Supercross. Vial, Kitchen, Hampshire, Deegan, because those are the 4 title fighters down to the wire there. But there is a real wild card, and we talked about this in our preview videos. It is an epic weed show right here.
Yeah!
The big wild card is right here. How do you predict this? This is as wild card gets right there. Who knows? Do you guys know?
No.
No one's calling 1-1?
Hey, fingers crossed.
That'd be nice. You'd take it.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes, that's all you can do. I mean, this could really be something. Joey Savacci, I believe, has won 7 overalls in the 250 class, was always a title contender when he was in there. Now the Triumph has been good. It looked good with Swole and Supercross. It's been doing very well in MXGP in the MX2 class with podiums, but I have heard there are differences, of course. That's a works bike over there. The engine is not the same. I've heard it's gotten closer, but it's not the same bike that they race over there, but it's been very successful. Nothing with the Triumph program so far has made us say they need time, this is not gonna work, or they're not ready. They looked good in Supercross, so I don't know. And a guy dropping to the class that Savacci hasn't raced since 2018, that is a real wild card. Of course, we got Joe Shimoda, who said yesterday that he got to ride like a day or 2, I think. Twisted up his ankle at Salt Lake. He felt good when he rode, but certainly that brief time between motocross and Supercross, that's not the time you want to miss riding, but he did. So that's gonna make it tough on Shimoda. And then the rest of the 250s, you just never know. That's what makes that class so exciting every year. Someone that you're not thinking of yet could step up. Like Masterpool if this Pro Circuit thing happens. And as for the 450s, bummer injury news, yes, but the good news is there's some Chase Sexton buzz after the win, and things are looking better and better. He said in the press conference yesterday, you know, maybe because KTM is more of a motocross company with all their experience in MXGP, maybe the bike he feels maybe works a little better in motocross. I personally think the last 10 years of evidence would say the opposite. They've been more successful in Supercross, I feel, or maybe that partially is just because of Cooper Webb, and that's just the way he rides, but we'll see. But there are enough people flashing back to this race last year who remember Sexton before he went out, just staying on Jet Lawrence's rear wheel, and it looked like, wow, these guys are completely equal. We'll see if they can be at that level again. Remember, Jet was a rookie at a 450 last year. He's definitely raised his level. They always do by the second year. What about Sexton? Can he run with him? And the other wild card of that class, that's gonna be Dylan Ferrandis. Wanted to be on a Honda so bad. He's got motocross bona fides, we know that. And is this Phoenix Honda thing all he needs? It's not a factory Honda motorcycle. And in typical Ferrandis fashion, he was asked yesterday, how's it gonna go? And he essentially said, I don't know. Because that's Ferrandis being honest. So, I mean, Ferrandis was pretty good last year. He did not like the Yamaha. If he's more comfortable on the Honda, he can make a run for this. And I think that's what people are looking for. You kind of know the 250s are crazy. They're hoping that there's some craziness in the 450 class because the specter of Jet Lawrence with the #1 plate and already a 22 moto win streak is a lot to square up when you're like, man, what's gonna happen? Maybe we're in for some more surprises. We already had them from press day. Wait, bonus coverage. What did you say? Best, worst idea? Worst idea?
Definitely the best, worst idea. You know, it all sounds great until you're about, what, 25 minutes in with another 12, 15 to go.
That's right.
And you're just getting a face full of roost, but hopefully not. Hopefully I put myself in a good position, but we'll see. Haven't raced outdoor in like a year and a half. Redbud 22.
Okay.
So we're gonna give it a crack. We're relying on experience and adrenaline.
And some friends?
Yeah.
Because you're just literally collecting?
No, so what I'm doing is, you know, a
Okay.
good thing I know a few people. I do laps around the pits till I see someone I need. And hey, you got this, hey, you got that. Like, I'm like, I've already came to Honda like 10 times already. And I said, hey, I'll be back 10 more times. So don't think this is the last time.
Exactly. And now I'm confused. You have a California base?
So yeah, I'm California and Florida, 50-50.
So you're out here and
No,
you had a bike.
65 Florida.
Oh yeah. Keep that in mind for income purposes. More importantly, you had a bike out here already?
Yeah, so I bought
Okay.
this bike back in December because I just wanted a play bike while I'm here to ride outdoors and ride in the hills or whatever. So I had this, and then I actually, how this all came about was I was getting ready for Manjimup. I'm racing a race there.
Yep.
It's a one-off outdoor race. I don't do outdoors anymore. So
Well,
I was riding
explain
it,
why.
and
You're not, your knee is bad. That's the
I
problem.
have a bad knee. Let's show the people the knee, because like just so they understand. So this is the bad knee, right?
That is gross. That is gross.
So you can kind of see she's had a few operations.
Yeah.
So anyways, we don't really do outdoors no more. I got asked to do this race. I've been practicing outdoors.
Yeah.
And Monday at Glen Helen, I felt kind of good, and then kind of the wheels started turning in my head like, oh, you know, only thing that's a positive is it's SMX points. I missed 4 or 5 races Supercross because I broke my scapula.
Yep.
So good chance to get good points. I don't know, probably my last ever Paula. So
Just this one though, not Hangtown.
no,
Okay.
I'll be in Australia. I fly to Australia Sunday. So
Oh, it's coming up quick.
yeah,
Oh,
next
so you got
weekend
it.
I race.
Woo! And that track is nasty.
That's what I heard. 92 destinations. Fro Daddy dragging handlebars.
Yes.
You know that
Yeah,
picture?
yeah, the legendary photo.
All right,
All right, get through this. That is
we're
hilarious.
gonna try. Thanks, boys.
He's literally holding fork guards. Dude.
That's my next job.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay, Dean Wilson, everybody, gonna race. Also surprising me, this bonus coverage, Justin Hill and Monster Energy Team Tedder. Not normally an outdoor team.
Get your merch on DeanWilson15.com.
Get your merch, everybody. Justin Hill's gonna race. It's been a while since we've seen him outdoors. And I've got to imagine that these guys are just thinking SMX. If you're in the area, especially maybe these first 2 or 3 when you're West Coast, hit them, get 8, 10 points a round or a moto, you could really add up at the end. So that's kind of SMX doing what it was intended to do. Even if you get a couple races out of a guy like that, or Hill. So Josh Hill went through last year to race, be cool. All right, I really mean it this time, that's it. Hey, good job on that. Let me see some moves. What do you got? Yeah. See you tomorrow for real. Oh, you're really stoked on this. Yeah. I gotta get that again. I didn't know you were doing it. Woo! That's it. There it is. There it is.